Good evening, everyone. My name is John Zobin, for those of you who haven't met me in the cocktail hour before. I'm from TokuMX. We're based in Lexington. We've been around for about 7 years, and we've been in the space recently. We're actually in the database space. Recently, we were named by Gartner as one of the cool database vendors for 2014. So we've been getting some good press, but along with that comes some interesting press. If you guys follow Big Data Borat on Twitter, you'll know that he voted us the most likely database to be confused with a Pokemon. It's a big honor for me. Retweeted that one furiously. So yeah, TokuMX, kind of a bizarre name, but it does stick in people's minds. I can tell you the story if you find me afterwards. Our founder told to me, I don't know if I believe it or not, but there actually was some logic around the name TokuMX, and thus TokuMX, which is our MongoDB distribution. Basically what we do is we don't actually make any databases at TokuMX. What our founders wanted you to do was be able to use the database that you want to use, so not have to learn anything new, but invent a better way of it interacting with storage, basically, because storage is a bottleneck for most of the databases that you are interacting with, whether or not you know it. And just to get a show of hands, how many people interact with databases on a daily basis? Wow, I actually got a better response than I thought. Yeah, we all interact with databases every single day, whether we like it or not. They're kind of a necessary evil, because every single application we consume, every time we do banking online, we're always storing that in the database, whether we like it or not. And you can evidence that through all the security threats we all know every day. Somebody else gets our social security number, our credit card, because they're stored in databases. But what I'm here to talk to you today about is MongoDB. Whether or not you know MongoDB, it's kind of the new sexy database, quote unquote. I know that's an oxymoron, but Mongo is kind of the fastest growing database now that people are getting to web scale or have new applications because it's extremely easy to use and it's very feature rich. Most of the traditional problems with databases is that they don't scale well. And Mongo's gotten around that because they built all the scaling features into their database. And that's why people are coming to it in droves. They're growing hand over fist. And if you go and look at all the analyst reports, you'll see MongoDB basically right underneath Oracle. So that's how fast they're growing. But the problem with MongoDB today is that it doesn't scale very efficiently. Because they've written in the ability to actually be able to scale, both vertically, as you can see on the slides, via replication, or horizontally via sharding, all in the database. They kind of use those features to get around the performance problems that their database has, which could be great, but it also could be bad. And when you want to actually operate the database at scale, you end up spending quite a bit on hardware alone. What you end up getting is inefficiency. And what they're trying to sell you on basically at scale is the fact that hardware is your solution for a software problem. But we at TokuMX don't feel that that's the case. We don't feel that you should be spending money on hardware what you can easily solve with software. So what we did was we implemented TokuMX, which is our own distribution of MongoDB. So exact same application code, same database you already know, same APIs, same driver, same wire protocol. All you need to know is that you don't have to do anything different, but use TokuMX instead of MongoDB. We can support all that for you. And what it'll get you is a drastically reduced hardware footprint. Basically, you'll be spending less dollars on your infrastructure now, but you'll be getting much better efficiency out of it. You'll be able to do a lot more with a lot less. You don't have to take my word for it. You can go to our website, which is www.tokumx.com, and listen to what our customers have to say. This is Performance Horizon Group out of England. They were able to do basically the exact same workload, actually better, with 8 times less. So here is our website. We are open source. You can go and give us a try for nothing. We also have an enterprise support program. And if you want to get in touch with me, my email is john@tokumx.com. I'm more than happy to help you out with anything that I can. And thanks to the BNT folks for having us here tonight. Thank you very much. Any questions? I answered all your questions in 5 minutes. I am. I know. Go ahead.
If you're not at the point where you need to scale from a hardware perspective, will you see a performance improvement on the database?
Yeah, you will. I mean, we tout the ability to do 20x pretty easily, but also it depends on the workload. And if you're not at the point where you need to scale and you're actually hitting a pain point because you have to jump and shard your database, then your infrastructure will last all the much longer, right? Yeah. No? Done.
Is this a fork of Mongo, or is it your own implementation with the same API?
So the question was, sorry, I didn't repeat. The question was, is it a fork of Mongo? And it is a fork of Mongo. Yes, we had to fork it because there's no storage engine API. That's basically all we're putting in. It's just the storage code. We actually had to fork it, take out theirs, and put ours in. Was there another question? Sir?
Are people really looking to select a new database? Is it really going on?
Well, yeah. I can't tell you why.
Why would they, or what kind of profile do you see, and what kind of industry are they coming from? Why are they motivated to do so?
They're coming from everywhere to the NoSQL space. That's where MongoDB plays, if you wanted to characterize it. The reason that they're going there is because it's a very flexible database. Traditionally, databases have been very rigid. The regular relational database world is very hard. People can't release like they want to release new software. They basically have to wait for downtime, which they might get once a quarter, maybe once a year.
Well, they're the ones who have market share. They're the ones who are all over the place. So why would somebody want to retrain and rehost their apps for new database?
It's actually changing, to be honest with you. Like I said, if you go and look at most database vendor reports, you'll notice that MongoDB is coming right up behind them, and there's a million other databases out there that are NoSQL related as well, doing the same thing. So right now, we're kind of seeing the market in flux, right? It's moving away from a lot of those traditional relational databases to more NoSQL databases. It's all because of flexibility. Question?
So, if they're big and you're small, how are you going to build up trust in the vendor space?
Well, the way we've been doing it lately is because we're solving problems that people can't solve otherwise. So that's kind of where we're getting the traction right now. So that's our plan to the market right now with large enterprise customers, most of which I can't name for you, unfortunately due to contractual obligations, but that's how we're competing with them right now. People are coming to us because we can solve problems with MongoDB that they can't. And not only that, there really isn't any other database out there that can solve the problems that they have today. I'd be more than happy to go into more detail about the problems that we are solving in those use cases. Absolutely. Sir?
Is MongoDB the only database that you have capability to?
Well, the two we do right now are MySQL, which was our first product, and MongoDB, but we're looking at more. There's just a lot of effort involved in getting into every other database, so we're looking. Yes?
So how exactly do you achieve efficiency with your product?
Well, what we invented is a different way of indexing, and it's really all based on that. Most of the benefits that we'll give you in any database are actually derived from our indexing strategy. So it's extremely insert optimized database. However, we do have a bunch of great, really smart engineers, and they've done pretty much everything they can to optimize features in different databases that weren't optimized by the companies that make them. So we have the benefit of not being able to actually, or not having to develop the code base and develop necessarily new features, but we can optimize them. And that's where we've made most of our money and most of our efficiency to date.
Last question.
Are there any more? Go for it. What's our pricing model? So if you want the community editions, go grab it. It's downloadable. If you want the enterprise edition, which comes with some extra features and support, we charge $2,500 per server per year. The MongoDB infrastructure, the same with TokuMX if you want enterprise support. So that's our model. It was great being here, folks. Thank you so much for listening to me. I really